So yesterday we discussed about move commands, WC, unique, more, less commands, right? So these are all file prompting commands. Okay. So as per requirement, we can read. Okay, some section of content from the input file. Now, so there is another command we have sort. We can sort whatever the data inside a file, either alphabets or numeric or months based on fields also we can sort. Okay, note down sort command. Okay, sort command is used to sort list of items, list of items alphabetically and numerically in a text file. In a text file. Use syntax. Options and file name. Right. So here we have a different option. So first note down the options. -R. Reverse order sorting. Reverse order sorting. -R option. Order. Reverse order sorting. -N. Numeric sorting. Reverse order sorting. Sorting. -N. Numeric sorting. This one, so it represents login type, right? Yes, I'm specified in this. Okay, so this is a command name. Okay, so we have a hash and dollar, right? So hash represents administrative login. So when you log in as root account, so on terminal it shows hash or a dollar, right? Like now we logged in as root by default. That means hash represents administrator login. Login account type is okay. So this is a username and this is host name, and this field is this is based on your login name. So when you log in as test user account, then it shows username here. User at the host name, and this one is the last field is current working directory. Currently we are in some directory in file system, that name it shows. Right. So next -K. Sort file based on field position. Sort file based on field position. -F. Ignore case. Ignore case. -T. Input field separator. Input field separator. Input field separator. -U. Suppress duplicate lines. -M. Sort file based on months. Sorts file based on months. That means the data, whatever the data inside file, based on months. Based on months in the sense January, February, like. Then -B. -B. Ignore leading spaces in each line. Ignores leading spaces in each line. Leading spaces. Leading spaces. In every line. So that means more than one space consecutively. So it will ignore. So next we have -D option. hyphen D uses directory sort order. Sorry, dictionary. Sorry, not directory. Dictionary sort order. So hyphen D means dictionary sort order. Okay. So now we'll see how to sort file. So create a file with some text. Some names. We have three fields. Okay, just created a sample text. So first one is the subject line and some values and some names. Okay. Now sort file without specifying any option. Sorted or not? So based on first field. By default, sort command will sort file based on first field alphabets, not numerically, alphabetical order. Okay, arranged or not? So what is the order? Linux, AWS, DevOps, Chef, Puppet, Bash, Shell. This order. After sorting, the order is like AWS first, based on alphabets. Bash, Chef, DevOps, Linux, Puppet, then Shell. Okay. So based on first field, sort command sorted the lines alphabetical order. That means what? So using sort command, we can arrange whatever the data inside a file in a proper order. Okay, either based on numerically or alphabetically or month, based on month. Okay, so now if you want to sort file based on second field or third field, how to sort? We have a K option, right? K specifies field position. Just specify. Here I am going to sort file based on field 3. So what is field 3 here? This one. So here fields are separated by spaces. Yeah, fields are separated by spaces. AWS is one field and 25190. This is one field. These two fields are separated by some space. Okay. Sorted? Sorted or not? So basically the file order is like this. Check the third field. What is first name here? Suresh. Then Praveen, Abhiram, New, something. Is that the names are in alphabetical order? No, right? So after sorting this third field, forget about the first field and second field. Check the third field. Sorted? Yes. Okay. Numeric sort. So how to sort? So here we have a second field, and now how to sort that? We'll see. Hyphen K 2. Then specify file name. What it shows, we'll see. Sorted? Not sorted. And numeric. For that we have to specify hyphen N option. Numeric sort. Sorted. So lower value to highest value. 10, 100, 14, 400, 1200, like arrange it, right? Pardon? Yeah, K is required, right? We have to specify the field position. Yeah, second field, right? Numeric values. So then only file will be sorted. N. Like this. By default, it starts based on first field. Alphabetical order it will arrange. No changes at all. Okay. We have to specify the field position. Okay. So then, is there any uppercase and lowercase names in any field? So if you want to ignore case, we have a F option. Then remaining options, either you can use field position -K and specify the field positions. Okay. And we have another option like -T, right? -T. What is -T? It specifies input field separator. So instead of spaces, is there any special characters like colon, semicolon, commas, or any other special characters as a field separators? Then we can use -T option. When you use -T, the field position name, field separator name, then it treats that special character as a field separator. So let me modify the same file. Okay. See here we have a spaces between fields, right? Now instead of spaces, I want to replace with one special character like semicolon. So how to replace? So already we discussed VI editor. In editor, and then nano also we have. So how to replace with that? Now I want to print here instead of spaces semicolon or colon. Okay. See, go to execute mode. Dollar substitute. We can substitute, right? Space instead of space colon. Replace it or not? But replace it at only one occurrence. So for all occurrences, we have to specify dollar. What it means? First line to last line. Now last line. On to last line. Yes, substitute. Then space colon then G global. Substitute. S stands for substitute. Grouping. Now save and quit. So now start file. After modifying the file, the content like this. Now Linux 3000. This one is, these fields are separated by colon. Okay. Now start. Specify a field position -K 3. Then file name. What will happen? We'll see. Is it arranged? Because it treats the entire line as a one field. So by default, spaces are the field separators it treats. Okay. So here we have a different field separator, also known as delimiters. These are all delimiters. Okay. So for that, we have to specify the field separator here with the help of T. Then your sort command will treat colon as a field separator. Now file will be sorted based on the position. Sorted? Abhiram. Suresh. User one. Arranger or not? So this is. So how, instead of a colon, is there any special characters between the fields? We can specify. We can specify. Pardon? See, -T is a field separate. Field separator. It specifies. Here, what is the field separator here? Colon. By default, it treats this one also a one character sort command. So until and unless you specified like this. Okay. If not specified like this, field separator as like this. It treats everything as a one field. Entire line as a one field. Right. So using sort, we can sort file like this. Is there any month field in file? Just specify capital. capital M. If you have any month field inside a file, so just specify the field position by using -k field position. That's it. -m will start the file based on months. So this is sort command. So how to sort file in a proper order? So either numerically or alphabetically, right? Okay. So if is there any numeric field at first position? Then you have a file, right? Here we have a first field alphabets. So then if that file contains numerics at first field, then we have to specify n option, -n. Then only file will be sorted based on first field numerics. Okay. Fine. So now we'll see differentiates. So how to differentiate file content? So if you have a files, I mean when you copy files from source to destination, so whether the file is or the data is copied properly or not to destination. So we have a differentiate commands like diff3, vim diff, wdiff, color diff. There are different commands we have. Diff. So using diff we can differentiate files. So differentiate. No, diff options file1 name file2 name. Okay, so it prints list of differences. So whenever you specify a file1 and file2, okay, whatever the file names you specified, so whatever the list of differences out there in first file and second file, it shows that result on output screen. Okay, so here when you run create a file with some content. Copy the same content to another file. Okay. Now we have two files, apple and orange. Okay. So if you want to differentiate diff apple orange, it shows nothing, right? Because there is no differences. Okay. Now modify one file orange, add something into this. Remove this small n. So instead of that, modified. Now run the same syntax. What it shows? 6 C 6. So here we have a different descriptive values. Okay. See here it shows the descriptive value C. What it means? Change. There is a change at. See in 6th line in the first file, 6th line in the second file. So we have a first file apple and second file is orange. Okay. There is a small change. See less than represents first file, greater than represents second file in output. Okay. So line information it shows. If you want to modify, you can modify. Just modify orange. And then add another one, DevOps. Now run the same syntax. What it shows? 6A7. What it means? There is another descriptive value A. Append or add. Add in the sense. So add first file apple, sixth line, after sixth line, and there is a seventh line at orange. There is a additional line in at orange file. So if you want to add this, you can add this line into sixth file. It shows. Okay, what it means? If first file contains less lines than second file, it shows the descriptive value A, append. If second file contains less lines than first file, it shows descriptive value D. D means delete lines. Okay, we'll see that. Apple, shift G to last line, add DevOps, added. Added additional line, one line, right? Now run. What it shows? D, descriptive. So 8 lines at first file, 7 lines in second file. Okay, so D, descriptive value. So note down. When you run diff command, various descriptive values are used to. When you run the diff command, various descriptive keys or values are used to describe the differences that are need to be applied. The key is A. So note down descriptive value. So description added when file 1 has A, descriptive key A. So what it means? Added when file 1 has less lines than file 2. When file 1 has less lines than file 2. Okay. See example. It shows like what 5A4 example. Okay. Yes. Next we have another descriptive key C. Changed. Both the files are equal. But some line content different. Hyphen. Next D. Deleted. When file 1 has more lines than file 2. When file 1 have more lines than file 2. So delete additional line from file 1. Okay. So next this one, greater than and less than. So greater than represents file 2 information. It specifies. So less than specifies file 1. List of differences it prints right on output screen. So if it shows any result with these symbols, what it means? At every line, if it shows greater than, there is a change at first line and there is a change at second file. Right. Now we'll see. Okay, fine. Using this differentiated. If you want to differentiate more than two files, then so specify another file name, right? But with the help of this, we can't differentiate more than two files. Only we can differentiate two files. Two files, right? Here successfully we differentiated files. Now how to differentiate directories? We'll see. So we have a -d option. Using -d option, we can differentiate directories also. So when you copy files from your source to destination, if the directory contains hundreds of files, okay, see while copying files, whether the file successfully copied or not, if you want to test, that means if you want to compare the backup directory as well as your source directory, we can differentiate. Then it shows the file names under file one, source directory and destination directory. Is there any differences? So okay, note down the option -d. So create a directory. Okay, mkdir dir1 touch dir1 file 1 we created, and make directory under opt backup. Under backup create, then copy files dir1 directory from current working directory to opt backup. We have to use -r, right? Now differentiate. Differentiate directory name, source directory and destination, opt backup and dir1. Nothing it shows, right? Because both are having same. Now create an additional file under dir1 file 2. Now run. What it says? Only in dir1. Which one? File 2. There is no file name at backup directory dir1. Okay, make now directory under source mkdir. We have a source directory. Create a test. Create files under test. That's that one. Touch dir1 test. Created file under test directory, which is under dir1 directory at source. Now run. Okay, what it shows? The file 2, the file 1 in dir1 test it shows. What is test? It is a directory, but we created some files under test, right? It won't shows. So if you want to see that list of differences recursively, parent directory as well as subdirectories, we have to use -r option. -r option, recursively we can differentiate. Why choose test? Pardon? No. I need to print something. Okay, so there is no directory under, right? So without option, just create, copy this, the same thing, -rv dir1 /opt backup dir1. Copied successfully. Okay, so now run. What it shows? So only in opt backup dir1. We copied some files, right? Into dir1 directory. Into dir1 directory, the same thing will be copied to this, but it contains again one more dir1 directory. Is it correct or not? So already we copied dir1 directory into dir1. So dir1 already is there. Again we copied a source directory to dir1. What it means? It contains dir1. So inside dir1, it contains a test directory. Inside test some files are there. That's why it shows the differences. Okay. So instead of copying whatever the stuff under source directory dir1 into this dir directory, again we copied the same directory into this one. If you want, let me check that. ls opt backup. So what it contains? dir1. Inside dir1, again we have a dir1 directory, right? That's why it shows the differences here. Only in opt backup dir1 there is a dir1 directory. Yes, see, only in dir1 file 2 is there, only in dir1 test is there. It shows the differences. Okay, now remove that dir1 under this one, dir1 some files. Okay, successfully we remove, right? Now copy again cp -r v dir1, only the files under. I'm going to copy dir directory, only whatever the files and subdirectories under we have, only those files I'm going to copy. Now specify a dir1. Okay, now run diff command. What it shows? Nothing, because both are having same files. Now create a one file under backup directory. There is a dir1, right? mkdir, create under one backup dir1 new. Just create a one directory name. Okay, so again here also create at source also dir2. Now run. What it shows? dir2 directory under only in dir1 directory at source, and new directory is under dir1 which is under backup. Okay, the differences, list of differences. Now we can copy, right? So whatever the files are missing while copying files from source to destination. Okay, this is how to differentiate directories. -d. So if you want to differentiate more than two files or three directories, more than two directories, we have a diff3 command. Using diff3 we can differentiate. Using diff we can't differentiate more than two files. More than two files. diff3. Using diff3 we can differentiate three files. Directories also, files and directories also. Not four, only three. Using diff3 we can differentiate only three files, not 4, 5. Three directories. See, here we have apple and orange, right? So create another file, cp apple some blue. Just copy the same content to blue, right? Diff, just specify apple, orange and blue. What it says? See, error, right? Okay, so now use diff3 to differentiate. It shows the list of differences, same descriptive values, keys C, D, A. Okay, see, It shows 1 means what? First file. 3 means second file. Third file. 2 means second file, like. So C key is what? Changed. So this one is appended, added or appended. But we can't differentiate less than 3. I mean 2 files with diff3 also. It shows something missing operand. Okay, so we can differentiate only 3 files and 3 directories using diff3. If you want to differentiate more than 3, like 4, 5, 6, we have a VIM diff. Using VIM diff, we can differentiate more than 3 files, 2 files, 3 or 4, any number of files. See, apple and orange. But there is a small advantage is here. So it will be highlighted with some colors, the changes. Automatically window will be split into vertically. Okay, say the changes will be highlighted with some colors. So there is an additional line at right. Extra line is at file 1. What is the file 1 name? Apple. Okay, so Python script. So here what it shows, the less lines it contains file 2 orange. So if you want to add this, yes, we can add. So we have a shortcut key, right? We can switch from one window to another window. We are in diff in the sense using editor. Okay, now if you want to switch from first window to second window, control WW, right? Control WW. Change it, right? Now add Python script. That's it. Changes are modified. Yes. So after that we have to save W. Shift colon W. If you want to add something, if you want to remove something at first file, again we can switch, right, from second window to first window. Control WW. Cursor moved or not? Yes, move to here. Cursor is now at first file and then run again. Change it to here. Like more than 3, 4, 5. Here just open 2 files, right? We can open. If you want to close, control WD. Sorry. Okay. Blue also use. There is no change, I think. There is no change. Okay. So all 3 files are having same lines, same content. That's why it shows like control W D. Sorry. What is the shortcut key to close? I mean, pardon? Not escape. Control to close the window. Control. We did something. Yeah, sorry. Control WQ to quit. The shortcut key control WQ to quit. Right? Like we can differentiate. Using this VIM diff, we can differentiate only files. The number of files we can differentiate. We can differentiate. So there is another command, right? Color diff and WDiff. These 2 commands are not work. We have to install some packages. Okay. So these are all third-party tools. You have to download and install color diff and WDiff. Using WDiff, we can differentiate files word by word. Word by word, we can differentiate. Word by word basis. Right? Using WDiff and color diff, WDiff and VIM diff. We can differentiate a number of files. Color diff also. See, word by word it shows. It's like I mean color diff, same like diff. So, but the changes will be highlighted with some colors. We can customize those colors also. Oh, it shows. Okay. See, while differentiate files, is there any lines in uppercase and lowercase? So, if you want to ignore case, then what is we have an option -i. Using -i option, we can ignore case. Our option recursively we can differentiate directories in diff command. Or recursively differentiate. I mean parent directory and subdirectories. The list of differences it choose at source and destination file. Okay, so like we can differentiate files and directories using diff, diff3, vim diff, wdiff and color diff. Now we'll see how to compress large file into smaller size in order to reduce file size or storage space. Okay, we have a different compression tools: gzip, bzip2 and xjet. So up to here we created, we modified, we removed, we moved, copied and sorted, differentiated files, right? Now how to compress a file or a directory to reduce space, right? Here we have a tools like gzip, bzip2, xjet, and we have another one zip and tar. Okay, first we'll see these three, then we'll see this two. Zip. So gzip, using these three tools, gzip, bzip2 and xjet, we can reduce the size. We can compress a file size, but we can't compress directories. We can't compress directories. You can use gzip or bzip2 or xjet. Only we can compress individual files. Pardon? Yeah, we can. If you install that related package, we can compress with var. Okay, 7zip also we can install. There are tools, right? When you install, we can compress with them. But these are all default tools comes with your operating system, right? Using these three tools, we can compress only individual files, but we can't compress directories. And we can't create a compressed file with specified name. Automatically, it will create a compressed file with existing file name dot extension, based on the compression tool. Based on compression tool. So when you compress a file using gzip, just specify. We have options, then file name. Okay. So when you run gzip space file1, example, we have a file name called file1, just specified. Once you run, so it creates a compressed file with same name, file1.gz. .gz is the extension. So it specifies gzip compression. It specifies gzip compression. Okay, what it means? So it removes original file and it creates a one compressed file with same name with the extension .gz, bzip2 also and xjet also. But there is a advantage over gzip. So when you compress a file with bzip2, it will compress bit lesser size than gzip. So when you compress a file with xjet, it will compress a bit lesser size than bzip2, but it takes time to compress and decompress also. It takes time to compress and decompress. The same syntax. Options, file name. file names. Okay, see now ggip. So here we have file 1 or and some files are there, right? Run ggip first. Okay, file 1. Okay, so it has other links, right? Okay, orange ls orange file, original file, I mean source file removed and created one compressed file with same name dot extension ggit. So what is ggit specifies? Ggip compression. So with the help of this we can easily identify the file is compressed with ggip. Okay, fine. Orange dot ggit, like any file, if you specified test, then apple test.txt, we have sorts. Files will be individually compressed. We can't create one or more files as a one archive with the help of ggip or bgip2 or xzip. Individually we can compress.
How can we see the file size?
There we have. So here we have an option -f. So with the help of that we can see that information. Ggip. Right. What I chose. And we have another command also, du. So disk usage. Using du command, we can see that individual file size or a directory size also. Disk usage. Why I choose cannot access? gz dot. Acha, okay, fine. Du -h orange. It shows the size. File name specified wrong name previous, right? So like we can see. So if you specified instead of this directory, it shows the directory size and whatever the files inside, individual file size it shows. Okay, we'll see that du later. Using ggip we can compress. How to decompress? We have a gunzip command to decompress. Compressed successfully using ggip. How to decompress? Gunzip. And apple. We can specify multiple names also, compressed file names, decompressed or not. And this one also, orange.gz decompressed. Decompressed or no? Yes, fine. What?
You get back to the first stage.
Yeah. So compressed and decompressed. Right. So if you want to read a compressed file, yeah, we can see the size. So after compressing, after decompressing, we can see the size. So before going to compress the file, so if you want to see that file size, use du command. Okay. Right. Orange. So the file, it contains some text, right? Somebody is compressed that file, stored somewhere. So if you want to read that file, we have to decompress. So without decompressing, how to read the file? So we have a jetcat command using JetCat, we can read ggzip compressed file. So compress that file, ggzip orange. So orange.gz we have. We don't have any source file. So the file contains some text, some important data. So if you want to read, we have to read decompress basically. So without decompress, we can read. We have a JetCat. Using JetCat, we can read ggzip compression file. Ggzip compression file. See. So without decompress, directly we can read. See, so if that file contains more than 2 pages, 3 pages, then when you use cat command, we can read last 10 number of lines basically. We can't scroll up, scroll down. Okay. So we have a pipe, right? The same result we can redirect to less. Less will print the same result page wise. Okay. Like more also we can use, head, tail, anything. Sort command also we can use. If you want to sort the same result, we can say it. If you want to see only unique lines, use unique command here. Using pipe here, redirecting one command's output to as input for another command. Here combining 2 commands, right? Unique. So if you specified unique, is there any duplicate lines from this result? It will suppress and it will print only unique lines. When you use sort command, it will sort the file based on the field position. If you want to sort the same result based on field position, specify the field position, and is there any numerics, just specify the numeric n-n. Okay, so like ZMore also we have ZMore, ZLess to read ggzip compression files. To read ggzip compression files, we have JetCat, ZMore, ZLess. These commands. Pardon? JetCat? We can't. Yeah, we can read using JetCat also. JetCat, ZMore, and ZLess. All ggzip compressed files we can read without decompressing. Pardon? We have different commands for this. Oh. Right? JetCat, ZMore, ZLess. So note down this also. I'll tell you what is grep later. Just there is another option also, ZGrep. So we can search for a specified string in a file. Is there any string matched with lines? Only those lines will be printed on output screen with the help of grep. What is grep? We'll see. Okay. For to decompress, we have a gunzip, right? Gunzip. So instead of that, we can use like this -d option also. We have -d compressed file name, like file name.gz. We can decompress using this one, or like this. We can decompress file. We can decompress a compressed file. Right? Fine. If you want to keep original files, by default it removes, right? Original file, it creates a compressed file. If you want to keep the original file, we have an option -c here. Gzip -c file name output redirection operator, then specify a output file name dot gz. It keeps original file. Compress a file and keep the original. No, we can't. Only single file we can.
Original file only. Original file and
Yeah, both will be there. Okay, see now. Apple is right. Gzip. Gzip Apple. Okay. Hyphen T. Then output redirection operator. You can specify the same name or different name. Output file name. But extension should be like this. .gzip. So we have right. Original file we have and successfully created one compressed file. Only single file we can create like this. We can't create multiple files. So if you want to read, we can read the compressed file apple.gzip. It contains same thing, right? Zmore, zless, zcat, anything we can use to read gzip compressed files. Same thing, bzip2 also, and we have bzip2 space apple. We have original file, right? Run. bzip2 also by default removes original file. It creates a one compressed file with same name .bz2 extension. Right? Successfully created or not? bz2. Like n number of files. If you specified, automatically files will be removed. Compressed files will be created with .bz2 extension. Yeah, same -c also. If you want to keep original file, bzip2 -c source file name, output redirection operator, output file name .bzip2. Okay. So if you want to read bzip2 compressor files, bzcat we have. Using bzcat, we can read bzip2 compressor files. Apple, bzmore, bzless. So there is no head and tail. Okay, only we have zcat, zmore, zless. See -L option. Using -L option, we can see that information compressed and uncompressed, the ratio compressed file information. Correct? Uncompressed 64. It shows. See, if you have a large files, then you'll get a good result. Then only we can differentiate. Have a less size, right? File size. So we have a ls-lh. Using this also we can see that file in size physically. What is the size it shows? 85 human bytes, 85 bytes. Okay, so you have a 10 MB, 20 MB or 100 MB files. When you compress, then only the result we can see. The differences, list of differences, source and after compression. Correct? But it shows not properly, right? So you have a less size, 85 bytes. It shows 64. So create a file with, we have another command 3, we can create a file with specified size. We'll see later. Okay. So just compress a files with large size like 100 MB, 200 MB. Then only we can see the differences. Okay. -L. We have xz, right? Xz also same. Yeah. Oh, sorry. For this to decompress, bunzip2. bunzip2 to decompress bzip2 compressed files. Same -d also we can use -b-unzip2 to decompress, -b-zip2 space -d also, -d to decompress. Pardon? -l. The same, just use -l instead of this. So then specify a existing compressed file name. See here in bzip2 we have to use -v option, -v to see the information. In gzip, l option, -l to list the information. Right, same like here b-unzip2 file name dot bz2, right, or bzip2 -d file name dot bz2. So like we can decompress. Okay, to read bzcat, bzmore, bzless, like we can. Okay, to keep original files bzip2 -c file name, then file name dot bz2 to keep. Right, same here. When you compress your file with xjet, file will be created with file name dot xjet extension. Xjet extension. Xjet extension. To uncompress, to decompress xjet compressed file unxjet. One second. Xjet apple dot gz created, right? Sorry, xjet created, apple dot xjet. Now decompress. Unxjet apple, sorry, unxjet to decompress. Unxjet to decompress, file name dot xjet. Right, to keep original file xjet -k file name, that's it. Xjet -k file name, no need to specify -c source file name, output redirection operator, again output file name. Automatically it creates one compressed file with same name dot xjet extension. To keep original files. See, is there any files we have? Yeah, we have a blue, right? Xjet -k blue. See, it keeps original and created one blue dot xjet. So if you have a directory, if you want to compress, we can't compress using these three tools. Even though if you specified directory name, so whatever the files under directory, those files will be individually compressed. Those files will be individually compressed. See, just specify xjet anyone tool dir1 is a directory, is skipping. I'm sorry. /dir. Not compressed. Yes. So -r. Just specify now. Compressed or not? So file1.gz, file2. Again, so whatever the files in dir2 and test directory also, automatically files will be compressed. So to decompress, gnzip or gzip -d also. R means recursive, recursively compress. Recursively in the sense there is a directory, inside directory some subdirectories are there, right? So whatever the files at parent directory and inside directories, if you want to compress, we have to specify -r. Then only gzip command will read that structure. Okay. Fine. To read xjetcat, we have command xjetmore and xjetless. Xjetcat, xjetmore, xjetless. To read xjet compressor files. Xjet grep. Fine. Now we'll see zip command. Up to here, you have any questions? I mean, gzip, bzip2, then xjet. No, we'll see now zip. Using xjet, bzip2, gzip, we can compress individual files, but we can't create compress directories, and we can't specify a output file name also. But we have a zip command. Using zip, we can create archives, compressed archives. So that means archive is nothing but a group of files added together into a one file. You like it? Okay. Like we can now create directories. We can compress. Note down zip. Zip is used to compress files to reduce file size. To reduce file size. Okay. So note down the options and syntax. Then we'll see options. Then zip file name. Here we have to specify file name. File name list. Sorry, list of files. List of files to be added into zip file. Whatever the file name you specified here, whatever the files you specified at here, the files will be compressed and automatically files will be added into this archive, this zip compressed archive. Note down first options -d. Remove the file from zip archive. Removes the file from zip archive. -d. So if you have any existing zip archive file, So it contains some files, right? If you want to delete any file from that, we can use -d option. -d option. Next, -u, update the file in zip archive. Update the file in zip archive. Yeah, we can update. So at source, you modified some files. So already we created one compressed file for that source. If you want to update same information into compressed file, we can update. -u, then -m, deletes the original file of the zipping. Delete the original file of the zipping. For example, if you want to remove source files of the zipping, just use -m. Zip space -m source, zip file name source files. Automatically one compressor. So zip file will be created and original files will be removed. -r option recursively zips the files in a directory. Recursively zips the files in a directory. -x, exclude the files while creating zip, in zip, or while zipping. Exclude the files while zipping. So you have a directory, it contains some different types of extension files like .doc, .pdf, .mp3, like .conf. So if you want to exclude any file, we can exclude. -v option, verbose.
Where we can mention those excluding files while zipping.
Yeah, here only. So after this, when you specify the exclude file names and the file names, verbose. Okay, simple syntax. Zip file name, zip file name, file. So when you run this, what will happen? It creates one zip file, zip file name dot zip file name. So instead of this, we can specify any name as per requirement. Whatever the files you want to compress, based on that directory name, we can specify here. One compressor file will be created, zip file will be created like this. Okay, note down. Zip command creates zip file with name as, note down this name as like zip file name dot zip. Instead of zip file name, we can specify any name. See what it means. So list of files to be zipped, this one. Okay, use zip file name. Here I'm specifying test, zip file name test. Then specify apple.gz and orange.gz, apple and blue. Specify these file names, zip, and this one is a zip file name, and these are all files to be added into this. So now zip will create test.zip, and it adds all the files into this as a one compressed archive. Added, right? Apple.gz, orange, apple, blue. These files are added into test.zip. ls, sorry, where it is? Yeah, test.zip. Created, test.zip file is created. Like we can specify a number of files. We can specify a number of files. Automatically it compress and it will be added into the zip file name, whatever the file name you specify. Right? No doubt. Pardon? Yeah, just which files you want to be added, we have to specify. Or directory name also we can specify. So we have to decompress. We can't directly read whatever the files under. We can't directly read whatever the files under. We have to decompress. So to unzip, we have a command unzip to decompress, to extract, to decompress or extract, zip, compress. I didn't get you. Extract. Extract. Zip compressor files. Yes, unzip file name. What is that file name? This one, test.zip. Right? We can decompress. And you go like this, what it says. So there is a existing source file set, current working directory. So here it is asking, are you sure you want to replace with that? Okay, I'm not going to replace anything. Okay, we can rename also. So just move that test.zip to opt directory, then extract mv command test.z opt. Moved or not? Yes. Is there any file name here? s.zip? Sorry. Okay. Test.gz moved. Yes. Change directory to opt. ls. Now we have here. Now extract. Unzip. So here also we have some files with the same. Okay. Apple is here. See, while extracting, here it is asking replace Apple. So there is a file name with opt directory. Okay, if you want to overwrite, then enter Y. If you don't want, then skip by entering N. Okay, successfully decompressed. So after extracting, it still keeps the original files. That is the advantage. By default, when you create a compressed archive with zip, it keeps original files. It keeps original files. If you want to remove original file after zipping, then use -m option, right? We have an -m. Or you can use set. Yes. So now zip -n zip file name new test. You specify asterisk. What is asterisk? It's a wildcard character. It represents anything, any name, whatever the file's under. ls added or not? All files added into new test.zip. Got it? So if you want to keep, don't specify m option. To decompress, unzip extracted. Like we can compress and decompress. So use the remaining options we have, right? So if you want to update, we can. If you want to delete any existing file under a zip, okay. So we have test, right? Test.zip. It contains some few files like apple, blue, something. If you want to delete any file, we can delete. So for that we have an option. What is the option? -d option. Like zip -d, which file you want to be remove, the file name, okay, or zip file name. For example, zip file name test.zip. Then specify apple. So what it means? Apple file will be removed from existing zip file. Existing zip file. Right? If you want to update, is there any modified files at source? Okay. If you want to update the same file into a compressed file, then specify the same thing. What is the option? -u, right? -u option. Automatically the same file will be updated inside. Okay. Like using zip, we can create compressed archives. Compressed archive files. Okay. So we have a tar command. So tar is very important. So while taking backups, so like we have a different types of backups scenarios in real time, daily backups, weekly, monthly backups, like, and here also we have three types: full backup, incremental backups, and differential backups. Okay. So what is full backup, differential backup, and incremental backup? We'll see tomorrow. Okay. And what is tar? How to create compressed archives. Without compression, how to create an archive. So how to extract a specific file, how to update, how to delete. Okay. So have any questions up to here?